Morning, everyone. My name is David Conway, and I suppose I lived in a parish and I was never involved in a parish. I went to Mass on a Sunday, but other than that I was never involved. And to the Irish Bishop's Drug Initiative and our then local parish priest, Father Eamon O'Gorman, he asked me to come along one night. I was after having an accident in work and my health was after deteriorating. And he asked me one night to go to Hilltown, to the community centre. He said, we're having a get together and we're talking about drugs and how we can stop young people from taking drugs and all that kind of thing. So I said, look, nothing better to do. So I came in and I walked in, and that was October the 20th, 2006. And I suppose it's after changing my life. To get the nickname now of being the curate in the parish is one of the things that people say to you. I'm fully working. I'm a voluntary worker in the parish, but I'm working full. You could say I'm working nearly full time in every aspect, in running the parish hall, in working with the old people, the young people, and things like that. But basically, what Liz from Abbeyfield, we basically do the same type of programme, and Sarah here from Temple Oran Parish in Hilltown, they do the same kind of programme as well. But I'll just give you a little letter, just to give you a flavour of what a student. We have a lot of German students because we have a secondary school in Mooncoin, Cláiste Cosisiúr, and we have a lot of German exchange students coming over. So it's in a little bit of broken English, but I'll just tell you the impact that the initiative can have on an individual. This is from Yasmin, and she was here from September, and she just left last Saturday morning. And she says, thank you so much to make my time in Ireland something special and unforgettable. I joined Drug Awareness not only because I wanted to learn something about drugs, but because I wanted to get involved and make friends. I enjoyed to meet others once a week and loved to talk about everything. It was always funny and I had a great time. In the first weeks it was a little bit difficult to understand everything, but soon it was grand. I think it's great what you do, to tell teenagers about drugs without making them feel like they're in school. It was great to go to the pictures all together. I wish we had something like that in Germany as well. And of course the fun and the drug education. That's a great idea and I absolutely love it. Thank you for everything. I'm going to miss you all, Yasmin. So that's what a girl from, we say Germany, you know, the Masters of Europe and things like that. That is what a young girl from Germany that came over and spent 6 months in Ireland. That's the impact that the Drug Initiative has had on her. But dealing with young people and talking to young people and giving young people equality and a place to express themselves, that's something that Mooncoin, we sat down, we analysed, we discussed, we fought, we debated, everything like that with the young people. And young people came to us and said, right, you're saying all this, what's our parish doing for us? What's our parish offering us? Right, they say to us, go to Mass, to go, well, what are you offering us? So basically what we done was, we sat down and we put a project together. They wanted a safe, warm, fun place. Our community centre is a fantastic facility, and we have fantastic, being from Kilkenny, we have fantastic sporting facilities. But we needed a dedicated place, a dedicated, safe place where kids could meet and have fun, have a little bit of education outside school environment. So basically we went around and we went to the Department of Youth and Children, we went to the county councils, we went to Kilkenny Leader Partnership, and we put a proposal to them. Now before we put a proposal to them, we had to set up a limited company because the Drug Initiative in Mooncoin couldn't do it alone. So we have people from the drama, We have people from the Twin Association, we have people from the soccer, we have people from the GA, we have people from the Drug Initiative as well. And we had to go in front of many, many committees and had to put proposals together, but I was delighted last September Minister Phil Hogan and Kilkenny Leader Partnership basically gave us a 200, because of the work the initiative is doing in Mooncoin, we got 200,000 of a grant to build, and you can see it there, it's up on the wall, a dedicated training and youth facility for young people in the parish of Mooncoin. So that is what the initiative can do to a local area, you know, and hopefully it's halfway up. I was at it, there's a lot of fundraising too, because we have to raise 25% ourselves, and I was at a very well attended table quiz last night with getting community support, and we raised about 600, and that'll go towards the fund to build the project as well and things like that. But we're hoping that in September we'll be up and running, and we already have the youngsters. We tried it 2 years ago to do a leadership course. Basically the premises we had cost us 3,500 in the year, and lucky enough Ostra Youth covered that. But now we'll have our own dedicated space, and we'll be able to continue that work, because young people are crying out to give them some direction, and they want to be part of their community as well. So we're setting up a leadership course come September in that new building as well. So just to give you another little flavour, we work with 5th and 6th class as well. A couple of years ago, my little lad is in 5th at the moment, and he came along and he said to me one night, and he was watching television, he said, "Dad, I can't wait," he says, "to be 18, he says, I want to do what that drinks company is doing now," he says, "I want to be able to slide down a mountain," he says, "chased by bears," he says, "it's fantastic," he says, "is that what happens when you drink," he says. And I said, "That's fantasy," I said. "It's a film," I said, and it gets, now lucky enough, he's in 5th class now. The Knights of Columbanus, because of the work the initiative are doing, they have John Lahey from the HSE, Drug Education Officer, working with the teacher of 5th and 6th in our community in the boys' school, and they are doing, along with religion, they're doing a drug awareness thing as well. And basically when they come to confirmation class, they'll do work with our peer educators as well. So the HSE are working with the 5th and 6th through the teacher, then the peers work with them at 6th class before they get to confirmation, and the HSE and ourselves basically work with the parents as well. So it's cooperation with the parish, the HSE, the Knights of Columbanus, and all the other agencies that support us. So look, the young people, the peers get the Goshka Awards and they get the John Paul II Awards. Any young person that has done, and I suppose we've trained about 70 peer educators in the last 5 or 6 years, any of them that if you look at the way they're progressing into the social services. They're becoming teachers, nurses, social workers. They're going into the health sciences. Any of the courses they're going to in college, that's what they're aiming for. And I think it's all down, and it'll just tell you what a drug initiative can do for me personally, for a community, and for young people. So look, this is Sarah, and Sarah's doing something similar in Templeorum, and she's going to explain now what they do in Templeorum. Okay, thanks a million.
Thanks, Davy. I suppose, yeah, as Davy was saying, I'm here from Templeorum Drug Awareness, and I suppose it covers the areas of owning Pilltown and Templeorum. It first ran the programme back in 2007 with Catherine Shea, and it's continued every year since. So I suppose, like Davy, we aim to provide an environment where teenagers' awareness is heightened about drugs, peer pressure, the Holy Spirit as well, and also down to the 6th class kids. So I suppose it's a community-based, peer-led programme. So like the other groups that we're talking here today, community-based and peer-led, these approaches have proved to be very effective when communicating with our local teenagers, we've found over the years. A total of 104 transition year students have experienced the programme since its beginning. Our programme is delivered to transition year students over 6 to 8 weeks. We invite the TY students to the programme by visiting them in their nearby secondary schools. Thereafter, we devise the programme for the 6 weeks. The topics we explore include drug facts, attitudes to drugs, peer pressure, where to find help, and presentation skills. Firstly, however, we ask the teenagers how much they know already, just to kind of get a good scope of where they're at. Is there anything they'd like to learn, anything they're not sure of? We look at the drug facts then for the first 2 weeks. We usually use flip charts, role plays, that kind of thing. And we also use the internet as well. I think the internet is a great tool to use, especially, I suppose, for the scare factor. We put up pictures of before and after drug users, and I don't even have to say anything. That really covers it all, those pictures. The attitudes to drugs section then is always interesting as well, and it gives the teenagers the opportunity to explore, discuss and debate their attitudes. Here we use activities again such as role plays, drawing activities, drawing what they think a drug dealer looks like, what a drug user looks like. Peer pressure then as well we cover, and I really feel that it's as important to cover that as the drugs facts section really. How to say no, reinforcing that it is okay to say no. We also use role plays and discussions as well. And finally then we teach them about presentation skills, and I think this is actually a good little section to put in as well, maybe when they progress to college, and of course teaching the confirmation kids as well. It's always a good little skill to have. So then we also put together a little information pack as well. So this is our information pack, and it just covers all the information that we basically used over the few weeks, and it gives them something to bring home as well. Obviously they're not going to remember anything, it's just a basic little guide, but they might have it under their bed, in a drawer somewhere, and someday if they need to refer to it, it's there. So I think that's really important as well. And also on the back of it as well, we have a list of local help in the parish and in the Carrig and the surrounding areas as well, and just to kind of show them that, look, there is help out there. It's not just on a national basis, it's on a local basis as well, and it's really easy to use and access for them. Finally then, the transition year students then share their experiences with the confirmation kids over 3 weeks, and here we are currently in the second night of it now. We started last Monday, and we're delighted with the turnout. 55 kids are making their confirmation, 50 kids showed up at it, so we were really delighted with it. And there was laughter, excitement, and the interest was there, so we were really happy with the turnout. I'm lucky to have a supporting committee. It's just not me. I'm only here the last 2 years. Catherine Shea, as I said, began the programme with Father Moore, and there's also Anya, Anne, Tara, Agnes, Aaron and Veronica. And we're very lucky in our parish as well to have Father Moore. He's very supportive and encouraged us all the way, and we're very lucky to have him. And to conclude then, I suppose our parish is small, but our community spirit is big, and I hope the youth of the area will continue to grow and learn in this environment. So thanks very much for your invite today, and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Sarah and David. So, I mean, that gives